Hi guys! Did you ever wonder what it would be like to live in ancient Egypt without your cell phone, your TV, your computer, your car, and no Pokemon? Your quality of life in ancient Egypt would really depend on where you fell on the social pyramid. I mean, being a pharaoh or a high-ranking official would be a heck of a lot better than being a peasant or a slave. I'll show you what I mean. If you were a top government official, you would be right below the pharaoh. Your job would be to assist the pharaoh and help him run the country. There were 3 top government officials. The vizier had the most power in the kingdom under the pharaoh. His job was to appoint and supervise other government officials. He was also the chief judge of the kingdom. Next you have the chief treasurer, whose job it was to collect taxes. And finally, the general of the armies, who advised the pharaoh in matters of war and national security. Government officials lived the good life. They were rich, had fine homes, and plenty of time to socialize. The rich attended banquets with roasted meats, exotic fruits, and plenty of beer and wine. They wore fine linen cloth, perfume, jewelry, makeup, and painted their nails. They were entertained by musicians, dancers, and acrobats. They had the good life. Count me in. Priests and priestesses were powerful and respected. They oversaw religious ceremonies, gave advice, performed healings, and ran the temples. Another important job of the priests and priestesses was they oversaw the embalming process. Egyptians believed in life after death and embalmed their bodies to preserve them for the afterlife. They were also buried with other items like food, jewelry, clothes, and even pets. Scribes were right below priests in the social pyramid. They were the writers and record keepers of Egypt. One unique thing about scribes is they came from all social classes. 12 years learning hieroglyphs in scribe school got you a respected and well-paying job. You could work for the government, priests, or nobles. Scribe school was tough. Learning 700 hieroglyphs wasn't easy. On top of that, students went from sunup to sundown, and they were often beaten. Where life starts getting tough is the artisan class. Artisans are highly skilled laborers like your carpenters, jewelers, leather workers, metal workers, painters, potters, sculptors, and weavers. Stone carvers were incredibly important for all those huge monuments. The artisans were Egypt's middle class. They lived in modest 3-room homes. These were the guys who designed, decorated, and painted the massive royal temples and tombs. But all of their work was anonymously done, and if they didn't work, they didn't get paid. Peasants made up the bottom of the social pyramid because they were the foundation of Egyptian society. Peasants grew crops and built the great Egyptian monuments. A peasant's life followed the 3 seasons of the Nile River. During the flood season, peasants worked on royal projects. After the flood waters receded, they planted their fields with wheat and barley. Next came the harvest time, when the entire family worked from dawn till dusk to harvest the crops. Peasants had few comforts. They lived in simple houses made of mud bricks. They ate fish, bread, lentils, homegrown vegetables, and drank water and beer. Peasants spent most of their time working, but they did enjoy river games and festivals honoring the Egyptian gods. Peasants had to pay taxes with their crops. If they had leftovers from a good harvest, they could keep it. But if they came up short, they were beaten. Life was tough for these guys, and they worked hard. So, before you travel back in time to ancient Egypt, you better decide which social class you'd like to be a part of, because there's a huge difference in your job, your housing, your food, your entertainment, depending on what level of the social pyramid you're on. Not much different than life today.